Imagine a world where the date September 11, 2001 holds no particular significance. A day like any other, marked by routine and normalcy. No tragedy, no terror, just the hum of everyday life. Just another day in the tapestry of time, unmarked by sorrow or fear. This is the world we're stepping into, a world where the horrific events of 9/11 never transpired. A world where the skyline of New York remains unchanged. While it's impossible to fully grasp the ripple effects of such a monumental shift in history, we can explore potential outcomes based on the political, social, and economic landscape of the time. We can imagine the alternate paths our world might have taken. This exercise isn't about rewriting history but understanding it. It's about gaining insight into the profound changes that followed. By imagining a world without 9/11s, we can better analyze the profound impact the event had on our world. We can see how it shaped our policies, our security measures, and our collective psyche. It allows us to separate the event itself from the reactions it elicited and the policies it inspired. This perspective helps us understand the depth of its influence on our global society. Even without 9/11s, many aspects of our lives would remain untouched. Technological advancements, scientific discoveries, and cultural trends often follow their own trajectories. The rise of the internet, the development of smartphones, and the popularity of social media would likely continue on a similar path. The human experience, with its joys and sorrows, would persist. Personal milestones, natural disasters, and the ever-evolving tapestry of human relationships would continue to shape our individual and collective narratives. However, on a grander scale, the global political stage and the security apparatus of nations would likely look vastly different. The most significant changes would manifest in U.S. foreign policy and national security. The landscape of international relations would be markedly different, with the U.S. potentially focusing on other global issues. The war on terror, a defining characteristic of the post-9/11 world, would likely not exist. This absence would have profound implications for military strategy and international alliances. The U.S. might have maintained its focus on pre-existing foreign policy objectives, such as containing China's growing influence or addressing the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. These priorities would shape a different global narrative. Domestically, the creation of the Department of Homeland Security and the passage of the Patriot Act, both direct responses to 9/11s, would be unlikely. The absence of these measures would mean a different approach to national security. These changes represent a fundamental shift in the American psyche, a heightened sense of vulnerability, and a willingness to sacrifice certain freedoms for increased security. The societal impact of these policies cannot be overstated. Without 9/11s, this shift might not have occurred. The American experience and its global interactions would be fundamentally different, potentially leading to a more open and less security-focused society. The absence of the war on terror could have led to different geopolitical alliances and conflicts. Nations might have formed new partnerships based on mutual interests rather than a shared enemy. The U.S. might have allocated resources differently, potentially investing more in diplomacy, foreign aid, or alternative energy sources. This shift could have fostered stronger international cooperation on global issues like climate change and poverty. The global fight against terrorism would likely be less centralized, with nations addressing regional threats without the overarching narrative of a global war on terror. This decentralization could have led to more localized and culturally sensitive approaches to security. However, it's crucial to remember that the world wasn't a utopia before 9/11s. Issues like political unrest, economic disparity, and regional conflicts were already prevalent. Conflicts, terrorism, and political instability existed. These challenges were part of the global landscape, and would have continued to shape international relations. The absence of 9/11s wouldn't erase these issues, but potentially alter their trajectory and the global response to them. The world might have taken a different path, but the complexities of international relations would remain.